Welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. All right. And today we are talking about listening to fear, which is a pretty unique Buffy episode, I would say.
It is. Yeah, it is unique. And it didn't have mermaids in it. Spoiler alert.
I know. Hey, we're still waiting for the siren episode. Okay. Yeah, so today we're talking about listening to fear. What did you think? Any initial thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a unique episode, like you said. I thought it was interesting. I liked it actually. Yeah, I thought it was I didn't like it at first, honestly, but then when they kind of explained why the demon was what it was doing, what happened. Anyway, I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Listening to Fear originally aired November 28th, 2000, written by Rebecca Rand Kirshner and directed by David Solomon. And the synopsis is, as Buffy and Dawn help their mother prepare for a brain surgery, a creepy extraterrestrial demon becomes fixated on an increasingly disoriented Joyce and infiltrates the Summers' home.
Which is funny because I didn't actually see that coming for some reason.
Yeah, I think it was pretty like
she started becoming weird and the demon was attacking weirdness, and I didn't put two and two together that, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think it was super obvious. I don't think they telegraphed it too heavily.
I feel like it should have been obvious.
I'm trying to throw you a bone here, Kimmy.
Thanks.
Okay, so we start off in the hospital where Buffy and Dawn are sitting with Joyce and just kind of like keeping her company, trying to keep her spirits up, keep her occupied. And the doctor comes in and says, yeah, okay, she is going to have surgery. Like, she's stable enough to have surgery. And so like, the day after tomorrow, she's going to have that surgery. And Buffy is going to have Riley and the others patrol for her because she's on mom duty for the time being. She's not going to be patrolling.
Yep.
And Buffy says, oh, they got it under control. And then we go to the graveyard and see how they do not, in fact, have it under control.
I mean, of course they don't. They're not vampire slayers.
Yeah, and Riley's nowhere to be
Riley's
seen.
Not even there to help them, so it's just a bunch of
amateurs.
What is Riley doing? Yeah. I mean, you know what though? They get there.
Yeah, they get there.
Willow's on it.
Yeah, it's Willow. Yeah, it's Willow, Xander, and Giles. Anya wasn't there, I don't think.
No, I think it was just Willow, Xander, Giles. Yeah, no Anya, no Tara.
That's right, and no Riley, but he was supposed to be there.
He was supposed to be. I think they would have been a little better off had he been there, but
yeah,
selfish pants wasn't.
So they do mention that he didn't show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is weird, and then we find out why Riley didn't show up.
God.
So we go to this abandoned house, and Riley is getting, I put air quotes, sucked off by a vampire.
He looks like he's enjoying it.
Yeah, he's getting bit. Let's just clarify
is that like a thing? Is that like a pleasure thing for humans to get that done?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Okay, because I was like, we haven't really delved into that, right?
Yeah, that's not something that we've ever really addressed. But yeah, it's like he's letting a vampire like bite into the inside of his arm.
Yeah.
And
that's his vein. Just in there.
Yeah. That's it. He's just sitting there letting her do it. Yeah, so there's like an agreement between them, I guess. Like, I let you feed, but you can't. I won't kill you. You don't kill me, but you can feed off of me, and whatever he gets out of it, he gets out of it. But we're like, oh no. So that one time with Sandy was just the beginning.
One time, yeah. It's like this is some sort of drug thing.
Yeah,
he's addicted now. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So we go to the credits and we come back and we're at the hospital, and Willow comes in and brings the Summers women a goodie bag.
Yeah, her care package for Joyce is a beer hat.
Yes.
I don't.
Homework for Buffy.
Get it? Oh yeah.
And
a spell book for Dawn.
A spell book that doesn't have any spells in it. Okay.
But it's learning about spells.
Yeah, it's like theory and like whatever antidotes, she said. Yeah. And then while they're talking about these very useless gifts, Joyce has an outburst.
Yeah.
That's a very unlike her outburst, and then doesn't realize what happened. They're all kind of like,
that was weird,
unnerved a little bit. Yeah. And then she says she needs to rest, so the three of them all leave so she could rest.
And for anybody watching the show that isn't familiar with brain tumors, they do cause behavior changes.
Yeah.
So that is a thing.
Yeah. My dad's were as extreme as this.
They
but
were
like
really.
they were not.
Oh, they were not. I was like, you
Yeah.
said they were, and I was like,
They
whoa, okay.
weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't as extreme as this. But like, in hindsight, like my stepmom told me, like I wondered why he acted that way about X, Y,
Mm.
and Z,
Hmm.
and again, like the weeks and months before. So yeah, that's yeah. I mean, but it wasn't
My
anything like this.
my dad, like he actually did have some like pretty intense ones, and we were
Yeah.
like, what is the doctor was like, oh, it's like a midlife crisis. He did have a violent outburst at one point with
Mm-hmm.
somebody, and then yeah, another time like he just forgot where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was weird. Anyway, but yeah, like you said, in hindsight, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this happens for sure.
Yeah.
So they all go out. They go outside, and that guy that Glory brain sucked, the one that was like, I have two daughters, the one where she was when she was torturing the monk, that
Right.
guard.
He's in the hospital now.
He's there. He comes up to them and he starts pointing at Dawn saying
Yeah.
like
There's
she's
no
not there.
data?
There's no data for this one
What
and
does that even mean?
you're not real and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of just shoo Dawn away because Buffy and her are like, okay, he's not well.
Hmm.
And so he's being taken home, the crazy guy, and Ben comes over and says, yeah, the mental ward is filled.
Yeah.
So we don't have
All
room for
these weird
anybody.
things going on. Yeah.
So if anybody has family, like we're sending them home with them because we have nowhere to put them, no beds.
Which is too bad because like family can't really care for that.
That's what he said. He's like, they're not gonna be able to
They're not
can't really take
equipped.
care of him, but we
Mhm.
literally have nowhere to put them because
Yeah.
the mental ward is full. So then we go to a rooftop where Tara and Willow are like laying there and looking at the stars. This looks fun.
Stargazing. Very cute and romantic.
Yeah, I remember the
Hmm.
last time I did something like that. So yeah, they're talking about constellations, and Tara's telling her like kind of constellations that she made up, not like the real ones.
The big pineapple
The
star.
pineapple and
Short
others.
man cooking. My favorite was uncomfortable moose getting sponge bath.
So funny.
That was really cute.
It's like they're stars are kind of like clouds. You can see whatever you want in them.
Exactly. That's right.
And then they see a meteor streak through the sky.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they jump up. They're like, "Oh my god, it's gonna land somewhere and hit something." So we as the viewer go to the crash site, and we kind of have a POV of something crawling out of like
Hmm.
the ditch that it made.
Something weird looking.
And we see the crazy guy is now wandering. So he was home for 2 hours and got out
And
and
he
started
must have got
wandering
out,
in the
yeah.
woods.
Yep.
And then we climb the tree, whatever we are, and then we see something jump down on that guy and attack him.
Yeah. And
out
he's
in the
mumbling
woods.
to himself, so he's acting kind of weird.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, we needed fresh air," and like, "Went for a walk." I don't know if he like said, "Oh, I need to go for a walk." Like, you don't just let them just wander off. But anyway, who knows?
But yeah, so he gets attacked.
He seems fine. He seems fine. Let's just let him go. Yeah, he gets attacked. So at the hospital, we see that demon like crawling on the ceiling of the hospital, kind of.
Yeah, like he came in on an ambulance, maybe it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know because I think it just. Yeah, who knows how it hitched a ride, but it obviously sensed the high concentration of mentally
word.
ill people. Yeah. And we see Joyce. Then we go into Joyce's hospital room, and Joyce is like freaking out because she doesn't want to stay there.
No,
She wants to go home for the few days until the surgery. And so Buffy kind of talks the doctor into letting her take her mom home until they come back for the surgery, and he's going to walk her through everything she needs to know.
Medications.
Yeah. All right, and then we
And
go back.
we can kind of see something lurking as if
Yeah.
whatever that thing is checking in on Joyce. Like,
Yeah,
what's that?
looking, yeah. So we go back to the crash site. It's in the woods, and the gang's out there, and Riley has joined
Riley's
them.
finally here this time.
Yeah, he decided to show
decided
up.
to show up.
And again, Xander's kind of like,
Calls him on his shit.
nice of you to show up, dude. Because, when you're like normal people or whatever, like a safety in numbers, right?
Mhm.
They didn't have a Slayer with them. So he's like, oh man, sorry about that. And then they find the crash site of where there's this big thing, and it seems like it's hollow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks weird.
And I like when Anya was like, careful of this radiation, it'll make you sterile.
And Xander runs away
Yeah,
basically.
he just jumps away. And Riley does look, oh, what? Oh, but then he just stays there. But he just seems startled at first.
So weird.
So they decide they're going to look around and see if they can find whatever came out of this. Because they're immediately like, Willow says like, Oh, it's like
Totally
an
thinks
evil thing that
it's
came to Earth and is
something
like
bad.
doing something bad. Like, of
Exactly.
course. Like, what else could happen to us? So they're looking around, and Willow finds the dead guard on the ground,
Yep.
but he doesn't
And
really have any trauma wounds or
and
anything.
she recognizes him from the hospital. She's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, hey, this guy. He saw Dawn and was weird."
yeah. He just was discharged from the hospital today. So Riley kind of like sticks a pen in his mouth, and
Hmm.
there's like brings out this like
Like a film,
it's like a like
like a
a
thick
yeah, it's like
substance.
a thick mucus kind of, but it's clear, completely
Yeah.
clear, and it like apparently stinks really bad.
Hmm.
And so they're like, yeah, we should look for it. And they're like, you know what? Let's just do research instead. Let's just go do research. We don't know what we're dealing with. So they go off to research, and Riley stays to do more sleuthing.
When he
But when
calls the initiative.
when they leave, he calls the military
Yeah.
and kind of fills them
Which,
in.
I mean, the military's, they're known for all the alien stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess he feels like this is out of their league,
Yep.
which it is really.
Yeah, totally out of the league.
So in the mental ward, a nurse is putting all the patients to bed, even though they're like very, especially this one is very
Agitated.
agitated. He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't leave," or she's
Don't
like,
leave me.
"Bye."
Yeah.
Just turns out the lights and leaves him.
Well, because she just thinks he's
I
being.
know, but she give him a sedative or something, like make him comfortable. Anyway, I was like, "Lady," and then when they're screaming and she's just like at her desk, like eating her little snack or whatever. I'm like, Jesus.
Because I feel like, yeah, okay.
I know, but at least check in there. And then all of them got killed because of her. Oh, okay. Anyway.
Mm,
All right. Anyway. So she's putting them to bed. Turns all the lights off. They're like,
She leaves.
ah. And
There's
then
one
something
guy.
attacks that guy.
Yeah, that guy. He sees it and he's freaking out.
Yeah, he's yelling. And the nurse just kind of ignores the
Yeah,
fact that
she hears
they're
him.
screaming.
And he even says something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he says something like, "There's something in here," or like "help," or
Yeah.
whatever.
And it like spits on his face. It like spits that
Like
clear.
barfs on his face.
Yeah. 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 It is more like barf quantity
It was pretty gross.
on his face. Yeah. Um, and then in a different part of the hospital, they're letting Joyce go. Um, and so they're just like getting her checked out. She's all out of bed and changed and everything. And like the alien
I think
is
we can call it an alien now.
watching.
It
Is
looks like an
watching.
alien. The last scene, it looked like an
Yeah.
alien. So,
Yeah. And it's watching.
it's creepy. It is very creepy looking, by the way.
It is. It is. It is. It's yuck.
The
Yes.
stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the creepier ones of the show, to be honest. We get a
Mhm.
couple of those that are like,
It's like,
ugh.
whoa.
Ugh. Yeah, so at Buffy's house, they come home, they turn the lights on, and she's like, oh no, that's too bright, that's too bright.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have to turn out all the lights, and they're gonna get Joyce upstairs to like get into bed and rest. So at the crash site, Riley's there, and the military arrives in a helicopter
Yeah.
with a few military people, including Graham. We see Graham again,
Mhm.
and they're inspecting the area, and they're
call
like,
it a
okay,
Protein alkaloid?
yeah, they think this is a protein alkaloid in the like that stuff.
Do you think that's like made up or do you think that's actually a thing?
I think that's probably a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's degrading quickly, so they're not going to be able to track that stuff.
Yeah.
But he said, like, because it came from like outer space and everything, it probably is like leaving a radiation trail.
Yeah, trace radiation?
Yeah, trace radiation. So they're going to use like their whatevers to trace the radiation to try to follow it, track it down. So at Buffy's house, Buffy and Dawn are watching TV and don't notice that Joyce comes downstairs and goes into the kitchen. And in there, Joyce turns on the oven.
Yeah.
Well, they hear like crashing and like stuff going on, so they run into the kitchen, and she's starting to like turned the oven on, and like nothing's in the pan, so it's just starting to like burn.
Because she's like, I'm making breakfast.
I'm making breakfast, and it's like God knows what time at night. Oh, you know what? That makes me want to have breakfast for dinner soon.
You should. The best thing ever.
Wow. Yeah, no, I just haven't. I've done it before. I just haven't done it in a while. Thanks, Joyce. Now I want breakfast for dinner. I already have dinner in the crock pot, so it's not going to be tonight. But
Maybe
anyway,
tomorrow.
who knows? Yes, and so she's like, "What are you doing?" To Buffy says, "What are you doing to your mom?" And her mom was like, "You better not eat anything else because you're disgustingly fat."
Yeah.
And
And
Buffy's like,
Buffy looks upset by that.
"Yeah, I mean that's just
Slap in
like
the face.
shocking
Yeah.
to hear your mom say that anyway." And then she immediately is like, actually, before that, she turns to Dawn, and I put that she sees air quotes Dawn because she's like, this tumor, like we've seen already, like kind of like helps her see through
Yes,
the
which is
illusion
interesting.
of Dawn. So
Yeah.
she's like, you're not real. The same type
Hmm.
of stuff that she's been. This is like
Yep.
the third time now someone said it to her.
Yeah.
Um,
She calls her a shadow.
yeah, you're a
Yeah,
shadow.
you're a shadow.
Yeah. Um, and so Dawn like runs off,
Yeah.
and Buffy gets her right back into bed, and Buffy talks to Dawn and says, "Well, Dawn says Dawn has noticed that this keeps happening.
She's like, everyone's saying weird things about me.
That I don't, yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
real. I'm not
belong.
this. I should Buffy should have been like, Mom just called me fat, you know." Like that wasn't nice. But Buffy explains it away. She says, it's them. Like when people aren't well, they just don't think anything's real
Yeah,
but themselves,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
it does nothing. Forget about it. Like I don't know if Buffy like legitimately doesn't put two and two together, or if she's just trying to lie to Dawn.
Oh, I think she's just trying to let it on.
Okay.
I'm assuming, yeah. Because
Yeah.
Buffy is a vampire slayer and unless she's off her game right now, but I think she's just, yeah, like placating her.
Yeah. That makes sense. So at the library, an actual library.
The university library. It's pretty cool
Yeah.
looking, actually.
Yeah. So the gang's there because it's new territory. So they're there looking at like their astronomy section because now they're dealing with space. So they're all like looking at stuff. I like when Xander says, "I like the reading material." And it was like meteors and you. That's the name of the book. That was good. And Willow's on the computer and says that actually Tara and Anya say that there's no other like landings anywhere that they could see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yep.
It's not an invasion, which Giles is happy about. And Willow says that she's finding like, in history that there has been these like hollow like meteors every once in a while have been happening all the way up to like the Queller impact. And they start putting everything together, and Xander remembers he read something that basically, they start figuring this out. Basically, the summary of this is that so when they've had like outbreaks of like mental illness, somebody would summon this Queller demon from outer space, and they would come and kill all of the, quell all the mentally ill people.
They thought the moon caused insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Plagues of madmen.
Yeah. So
yeah.
This is like comes and cleans house of like the crazy people, apparently.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, obviously Glory's up to no good.
Yeah.
Like
this must be her doing.
Yeah. Like timing is too good. So at the hospital, Riley's there because they've tracked her to the hospital. Riley calls Willow?
Willow
yeah,
calls
Willow.
Riley?
Yeah, Willow and Riley are talking.
Yeah, they somehow get in touch, yeah.
Yeah. And Riley says, she kind of tells him what they just found out about the Queller demon. And he says, well, there's 5 dead mental patients in the mental ward. So
That's
yeah.
kind of a lot.
Yeah. Kind of a lot. Yes, I would say so.
The whole unit, basically.
The whole unit got killed, yeah.
And
while
then,
Martha was out there having her snack. Yeah.
And then Willow warns, or wait. Oh yeah, and then Willow's like, well, Joyce was acting weird, so
she was discharged today, but she was acting like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But she's safe at home.
Yeah.
And it said and then Riley says maybe they might have it cornered in the air ducts, possibly. And he hides the fact that the military is there with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have it cornered, so he doesn't want them to know that he's called the military in. So at Buffy's house, Joyce is in her bed, like just going crazy.
Talking nonsense.
Just totally like just jabbering away. I had no idea what she's talking about. And Dawn and Buffy are upset. They can hear it in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It's Buffy's trying to like wash dishes and she starts crying.
Yeah, she puts music on to cover it because she just can't take it and starts crying, which is so sad. And then we see Joyce talking again, and she's like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And then we see the Queller demons like on the ceiling looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy little thing.
It is super creepy looking.
And then at the hospital, back with Riley, they're trying to track. They're tracking it. They track it to the parking lot, and they're like, "Okay, it obviously hitched a ride on a."
And then Riley's
a
like,
car.
"Oh, I know where it's going."
Like a crazy person that was discharged today. Someone that was acting crazy that was discharged today. He's like, "Oh God, it like hitched a ride with Joyce and them."
Yep.
With Buffy. Yeah, and Riley says, "Yeah, he knows where it's going." So back at Buffy's, the Queller demon attacks Joyce and barfs that stuff on her.
Starting to? Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dawn comes in and like saves her.
I mean, yeah, she like coat rack or something.
Yeah, yeah, it was bottom of
She
coat
get that. I
rack.
was like,
Yeah,
okay,
she
John,
gets
get
that
it.
thing
That
off
was
of
pretty
her,
cool,
yeah.
actually.
And
Yeah,
then she ends up barricading her mom and her in that bedroom and yelling for Buffy, but Buffy can't hear her because Buffy
yeah,
has the
because the
music up.
music.
Yeah. But eventually Dawn yells enough and Buffy hears it and runs up there and immediately gets attacked by the Queller demon. And they have a pretty nasty tumble down the stairs.
Oh my God.
And then it, skitters off somewhere.
So she like grabs a kitchen knife. This is something like she was in some sort of a horror movie, and it made me think of this.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she was in. She was in a couple horror movies. She's been three that I can think of.
Uh, yeah,
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
yeah.
Scream.
The Scream. It was making me think of Scream. That's what it
Scream
was.
2, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
And then The Grudge. She was
Okay.
like the lead in
She
The
was in The
Grudge.
Grudge? Oh, okay. I think in
Yeah.
Scream 2, she maybe I'm totally misremembering, but I thought I remembered she grabbed a knife like this scene, and I was like,
Maybe
ooh.
she did, yeah. I mean, she's in it for like she gets killed pretty
Yeah,
quickly in
pretty
like the
quickly. Yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
And then who walks in but Spike?
Spike walks out of the
Oh yeah, out of the
basement
basement.
door.
What's he doing there?
I don't know. He's stealing things. He's like, hey, you have a lot of junk in your basement, and I need to steal things and make money. I can't work at the burger barn or whatever he says. I can't work at the burger counter. Like, I got to make money somehow. And then she's like, he's putting stuff in his pockets, and she's like, are those pictures of me? And he's like, what? And then I love that the Queller demon attacks him. He's like, ah! When he gets attacked, it's so funny. He's like, "What the hell is this thing?" He's like freaking out that it's on him, and he's like flailing around on the ground, and he kicks the knife out of Buffy's hand.
Yeah,
Um, but then it jumps onto Buffy.
but Spike throws her the knife.
But then, yeah, he eventually when he gets up, he's like, "Hey, Buffy," and throws her the knife, and she's able to stab it enough to kill it. And I hate when it like dies on her and it's like,
oh my God, it was so gross.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's able to like push it off of her after when it dies, it's like its mouth, it's like a round like teeth. Oh God, nasty. Nasty.
And Riley comes in and Spike's all like, "Oh, you missed out again.
Missed out on a fight, yeah. And yeah, the military also barges in with him.
Right, yeah.
And then he asks Buffy if she's okay, and she just runs up the stairs.
Yeah.
To check on her mom.
Yep.
And so yeah, she checks on Joyce and Dawn. Now this is interesting.
Okay, so I didn't see this coming. This is quite the twist.
Outside the hospital, Ben is getting ready to leave for the day. He gets in his car, and I guess it's Dreg, Dreg is sitting in his back seat and is like, why'd you do this? Like, it seems like a silly thing to do. Like, it just seems like chaotic to do this. And he's like, get out. And he's like, okay, like, why did you summon the Queller demon?
And I was just like,
yeah, and Ben says, I have to clean up Glory's mess just like I've been doing my whole life.
yeah, and what does that mean?
So he's like, I got to get rid of all these crazy people because she's making so many crazy people.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to, like, take care of the mess. So that's,
So
and yeah.
I have so many questions. Like, okay, she looks like a human, but she's a beast, right?
That's like her nickname, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, she's like a demon. She's just in human form, but she's actually like a demon, right?
Undisclosed at this
guess.
moment.
Fine. Okay, that's my guess anyway. So is he a demon too? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. They seem
he's a
familiar with each
doctor?
other. They seem familiar with each other.
They do. And she's like, I don't know, whatever she is, she's just not integrating into human life, but he's fully integrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
He's
is.
like a weird
Normal person.
Anyway.
Or
Okay.
so it
okay.
seems he's a normal person.
He's obviously not. If he can summon Queller demons and knows Glory and is trying to clean up after her, what are they, brother and sister or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, okay, moving on. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that was like the what of this episode.
Yes.
So Joyce is back at the hospital now and she's getting ready for surgery.
Yep.
Now this scene too is like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Joyce tells Buffy, like, I had a
dream.
Like it wasn't a dream.
It felt like
it wasn't, but it just felt like I had a truth. Like I had I just knew it that Dawn wasn't hers.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, yeah, she's not.
Yeah,
Buffy doesn't really give her. It doesn't doesn't really explain.
But she did admit it though.
Yeah, she admits it.
And I mean, Joyce doesn't press her for facts.
Yeah. Joyce knows a lot, it seems. She's like, I
Yeah,
know
well,
she's important.
well,
She's
she's like she
important to the
belongs to
world.
us, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And she says, like, I know that she's important to the world. She's precious. And we have to take care of her. Buffy's like, yes. And so Joyce asks Buffy to promise her that if something happens, that she will love her like Joyce loves Buffy
Yeah, which
and
was
take
kind
care
of
of
a
her. She's like, even if she's
sweet
not my
moment.
daughter, she feels like she's my daughter still.
Yeah, yeah,
And so Buffy promises. And then, yeah, the ending little shot there is Joyce being wheeled into surgery while the whole gang is
I'm waiting.
waiting, gonna sit in the.
Riley is there this time.
Yeah, he was included this
He
time.
showed up. He showed up.
Yeah. Yep, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Okay. So let me. I didn't write down my whole quote because it was a little bit long, but it is
Curious to
online.
know your steak rating.
Okay. So my favorite quote was when Xander says, I still don't get why we had to come here to get info about this killer snot monster." And Giles says, "Because it's a killer snot monster from outer space." I did not say that. I, d- I did not say that.
That's funny.
Killer snot monster from outer space. Yes, that is like the very um, correct assumption of what this is. And then my favorite scene was the end scene with Buffy and Joyce
Yeah.
about like talking about Dawn, and I just and Buffy was like just holding back tears the whole
Yep.
time.
That was a hard one.
Oh, it was just sweet. And you know, we've talked a little bit before about how Joyce is so like more seems more affectionate with Dawn than she does with Buffy, and this was sweet because she was just like my sweet, my brave Buffy, and
Hmm.
like I don't know, she was just very affectionate to Buffy in this scene, so I liked that.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
Are you saying your steak rating? No, not yet. Do I go first? Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I forgot the order apparently. Okay. My favorite line is when Willow comes in and brings the gifts, and they're making jokes about her being a small Jewish Santa, and she gives Buffy homework, and Buffy's like, I don't believe in tiny Jewish Santa anymore.
Yeah, she's like, "This is my gift, homework."
That was really funny.
I was
And then
waiting
yeah.
for sorry. I was gonna say I was waiting for Willow to also give her like it done. You know, like she did when Buffy had the flu.
Oh,
She
I
brought
forgot
her
about that.
brought her books, and she's like, I also brought your homework done for you. Remember that?
That was
I
very
was waiting for
nice.
that.
Yes,
I didn't
yes. Not
remember.
this time apparently.
No.
Also, my favorite scene was the same as yours, the end, because yeah, I was just like, I liked how they brought Dawn in, or Dawn, sorry, Joyce in on the knowledge that Dawn isn't really her daughter or seems to be human, really, or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but that Joyce was just like, yeah, well, we got to take care of her, and she belongs to us, and yeah, just how sweet she was to Buffy, because they've had some ups and downs over the years. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's putting it lightly. So I gave it a 4.5.
woo, we matched.
Oh, okay.
That's a rarity, people.
So it was a really cool demon. It was really
Yeah.
cool. It was really gross. Like it was effective because it was
Mhm.
nasty. It had like the weird like shell kind of on the outside of it. Ugh, it was gross. Um, I put poor Joyce, just like she's really goes put through the ringer in this episode. I put Riley like falling deeper into trouble. Like he's really getting into something here. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like we know it wasn't just a one stupid moment.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
he's like going to like essentially like vampire prostitutes in a way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I put Joyce finding out her tumor telling her that about Dawn is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And then the whole Ben thing. Now Ben,
Yeah.
like, because Ben keeps showing up, but
Yeah.
now he's like intertwined in the storyline, like in the plot. We
Yep.
just don't know how.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that unfolds.
We just don't know how yet. So yeah, 4.5. I thought it was a solid episode.
Yeah. I agree. I give it the same steak rating.
Yeah.
A lot of what you said already, very cool demon, super creepy, very cool. Different. Every
Hmm.
space is different.
Hmm.
And I liked just the Queller demon thing, like how it's like summoned. It's not just
Yeah.
something that just randomly shows up and it had a purpose.
Hmm.
Um, I also liked at the beginning that Willow staked two vampires. Way
Yep.
to go, Willow. That was a pretty
Hmm.
big one.
Yeah, she was proud of herself.
Yeah, I was proud of her too.
Yeah.
And then just yeah, the whole like watching Joyce progress was kind of hard. I'm curious to see how her surgery turns out and
Hmm.
watching Riley fall more from grace. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was actually.
Oh, right. The next episode is called Into the Woods.
Okay.
Two unlikely characters share a drink together. Who are they?
Um, two unlikely characters. Well,
Like, have a
Buffy
drink
and
together.
Buffy and Spike would be not that unlikely, I feel like at this point.
Mm,
Um, maybe let's do Riley and Spike.
okay.
Okay.
That would be unlikely.
Hmm.
So that wraps up season 5, episode 9, Listening to Fear. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with season 5, episode 10, Into the Woods. See you real soon.
Bye.